Yeah, I couldn't believe that it was true. I was really shocked by how young these guys were, and kind of these guys are playing ball with guys with much more experience, but fake it till you make it, and get a guy like Ephraim who is just very business savvy and very persuasive, and all those characteristics you need to succeed in business that Ephraim has. So
Something measured out by like Todd, and the editing and everything because, you know, how they display him to the audience. But it was definitely something I was really tracking, you know, how much charm at certain points, how much sociopathic behavior, how much manipulation, how much joy, how much friendship. It's kind of like this really weird balance you're trying to create with this guy where people do love him, but he's really, hurting them or manipulating them.
I met David on set. I always think it's nice if you have the opportunity to meet, the real person. I didn't feel like I really spend a ton of time with David before filming necessarily, but absolutely I wanted to meet him just because I'm sure he was pretty nervous about it, and just to kind of say, hey man, like taking this really seriously, and anything they want to share with you is useful.
It just wasn't available. I would have loved to. I think that's really well put. I think you're right. It's like almost entitled or audacious to think you could pull something off like this at such a young age. And I think there is something inherently American about that in a good way and a bad way. I think people, if you grew up in this country, there is a lot of like the American dream of where you can kind of pull off whatever you want to pull off or achieve hopefully whatever you want to achieve. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. This is their version of that, and they were able to pull off this insane thing at such a young age. And I think there is something inherently American about that story. We didn't even get to meet like until right before shooting, just because of like Miles was shooting something up until we were shooting. But we kind of got thrown into the fire in a good way of like starting in Romania, where we were in a strange country where we didn't know anybody. So we started hanging out then.
Romania was great, totally different, obviously, than environments that I had been used to. But I enjoy all of it, and I knew that for the film, it was so great that we could be on location. It helps the performances, but it also just visually, the audience gets that, and you can tell it's not CGI or shot on a backlot.
I think it's definitely a pivot for Todd. He's never made a more dramatic film, and this is like a very, a drama with a lot of funny moments in it. And I think it's cool for him. I think it still keeps his subversive nature and dark humor, but within a real interesting, true, dramatic story.